Imagine this: India's vice president is chosen not by the people directly, not even by the state assemblies, but by a small, powerful group inside the parliament. No cameras, no public campaigning, just secret ballots. And once elected, the vice president becomes the chairperson of the Rajya Sabha, one of the most powerful roles in our democracy. So here is the question: why does our constitution design such a unique process? Today we will deep dive into the 2025 vice president elections, understand its constitutional law, elected process, and most importantly, the legal insights every law student and judiciary aspirant must know. This is Ashish Jain, founder and chief educator at Doon Law Mentor, where we help law student crack judiciary and APO examination. If you found our content helpful, do like, share, and subscribe. Let's start with the session. So, first of all, we will discuss the office of the Vice President under the Constitution of India. As far as provisions are concerned, Article 63 of the Indian Constitution is more prominent here. It provides that India shall have a vice president. Article 64 of the Indian Constitution says that vice president is the ex officio chairperson of the Rajya Sabha. The vice president main function is not executive like the president, but legislative, presiding over the upper house of the parliament. This role ensures the balance and smooth functioning of the parliament. Before moving further, let me ask an important question to you. Should the vice president have more executive power like in the US, or is the India's model better where vice president focuses mainly on the Rajya Sabha? Do comment your opinion in the comment section. Let's move on to the constitutional basis of the vice president election. As far as constitutional basis of vice president election is concerned, it revolves around Article 66 of the Indian Constitution. Article 66 clause 1 of the Indian Constitution provides that the vice president is elected by an electoral college consisting of the members of both the houses of parliament. Remember, the electoral college of vice presidential election consists of elected members of both the houses of parliament, elected as well as nominated members of both the houses of parliament. Both elected and nominated members of Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha do participate in the vice presidential elections. Article 66 clause 2 provides that election is held by proportional representation by single transferable vote system. Here, remember, voting is secret, protecting the independence of the parliamentarians or the members of the electoral college. Article 66 clause 3 provides the conditions for the presidential candidates. They must be citizen of India, 35 years of age minimum, and qualified to be a Rajya Sabha member. Now move on to the next part of the session, where we will discuss the who votes and we will discuss the electoral college in detail. As far as electoral college composition of the vice presidential election is concerned, it includes all the members of the Lok Sabha, 545 Lok Sabha MPs, and as far as Rajya Sabha MPs are concerned, 245 total, and it includes all elected, 233 elected plus 12 nominated members. In that way, the number become 245. All 245 MPs do participate, so total voters are around 790. Both elected and nominated MPs vote, unlike presidential elections where nominated members cannot vote. Each MP vote has equal value. No weighted system is there like in the presidential elections. As you know that in the presidential elections, value is attached to the each member's vote, but no such system exists in vice presidential elections. This makes vice presidential elections more straightforward, but also very politically strategic. Now let's move on to the nomination process of the vice presidential election. or vice presidential candidate. A candidate must be proposed by at least 20 MPs and seconded by another 20 MPs. He must deposit 15,000 of rupees as security deposit. The nomination papers are scrutinized by the returning officers, usually the Secretary General of the Rajya Sabha. The invalid nominations, missing the signatures, unpaid security deposits are rejected. And after scrutiny, final list of candidates is published. Now moving on to the voting day procedures. As far as voting day procedure are concerned, MP cast votes in a secret ballot inside the parliament. The method used is single transferable vote system, and ballot paper list all the candidates. MPs mark preferences against their first, second, third. In that way, MPs mark their preference on the ballot paper. This ensures broader consensus rather than just majority. The counting process transfers the surplus or the eliminated votes until one candidate reached a majority. Now let's move on to the single transferable vote system. Let's explain that in more detail. Unlike the normal elections, single transferable vote system allows MPs to rank candidates in their order of preference. Means if a candidate does not secure the quota, the votes of the lowest candidate are transferred to the second preferences. This continues until one candidate gets the required majority. Example, if a candidate gets least votes, their votes move to the candidate B or C depending upon the preference marked. This prevents the vote wastage and ensures the consensus winner as the Vice President of India. Let's move on to the constitutional safeguard involved in the election of the Vice President of India. Article 71 is very relevant here, and it provides that the all election disputes are exclusively decided by the Supreme Court of India. Means no other court have jurisdiction with reference to the any legal dispute arising out of the vice presidential elections in India. No election can be challenged in the ordinary courts. This ensures the stability of the high constitutional offices. Moreover, Article 68 is also relevant here, which provides that if election of vice president is not held before the expiry of the term, then must be conducted as soon as possible. Election must be held before the expiry of the term. Now move on to the difference between the election of the vice president and the president. As far as electoral college is concerned, in the election of the president, MPs and MLAs both participate, while as far as in the vice presidential elections, only the MPs participate. And as far as vote value is concerned, in the presidential elections, weighted by the value of each vote is weighted by the population of the constituency represented by the concerned member of parliament or the member of legislative assembly. And as far as vice presidential elections vote is concerned, each vote has equal value. Each vote has equal value. As far as role is concerned, president is the executive head, vice president is the Rajya Sabha chair. Disputes arising out of both the elections, whether it is vice president or the presidents, all goes before the Supreme Court only. Supreme Court has the exclusive jurisdiction in the matter. Let's move on to the role of vice president in democracy. What is the role of vice president in a democratic setup like India? He acts as the chairperson of the Rajya Sabha. He maintains the order, allows the debates, and ensures discipline. Another role is regarding the lawmaking process. In the lawmaking process, he ensures that because Rajya Sabha is the legislative body of India at the central level. In absence of the president, vice president acts as the president until the new president is elected or the old president who has gone on leave or is unable to act due to sickness or anything resumes the office back. Thus, vice president is both a backup constitutional head and a key parliamentary authority in India. Let's move on to the landmark cases, observations, references, etc. While vice president election disputes are rare in India, Supreme Court has jurisdiction under Article 71. Importantly, do note here that in the presidential election cases, Supreme Court has emphasized strict compliance with the election laws. However, the same principle applies for vice president polls as well. As far as the legal framework is concerned, the legal framework as far as vice presidential elections are concerned in India is concerned, it ensures transparency despite being an indirect election. Let's discuss why we do have such a system. Excluding state assemblies keep the vice president election parliamentary centric since vice president preside over the Rajya Sabha. Secondly, use of STV, that is the single transferable vote, prevents one party dominance and encourages condition support. Bar on ordinary court petitions preserves the dignity of the office, and also the security deposit avoids the non-serious candidates. Overall, the system balances the stability with fairness and the consensus. Let's move on to the last part of this session, that is the conclusion. The vice president election may look simple, but it is a masterpiece of constitutional design. It blends democracy through the secret ballot with practical politics through the parliamentary vote, and it ensures the vice president is chosen with wide consensus, not just by brute majority. For law student, this is a gold mine for exam ready facts and the concepts. With this, our session on the vice president election process and the legal structure is complete. That's the vice president election laws fully recorded for your understanding. From Article 63 to 71, nomination, electoral college, single transferable vote system, and constitutional safeguard, you now have the complete roadmap. Before you go, tell me in the comment section which part of the vice president fascinating election process keeps you most fascinating, whether it is the nomination process, electoral college, or STV counting. Do let me know in the comment section. And if you enjoy the breakdown, do like, share, and subscribe. And if possible, hype the video. And if you want to study with us, personally with us for our judiciary and APO courses, you can enroll in our courses from our website and app for both Hindi medium and English medium courses. New batches are starting from the first Navratra. You can enroll in our courses from there also. See you in the next session. Thank you. God bless you. Take care.